yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial for you, and this one is by request because in one of my recent tutorials I did a stocking cap that I crocheted, and I had a cute little tassel on the end of the tip of the hat, and it was suggested that I do a tutorial on how to make tassels. Now, by no means am I the end-all be-all. There are a lot of different techniques on making tassels, but this is my variation. Also, there are gadgets out there, believe it or not, that help you to make tassels, and etc., etc. But you know what? If you have a pair of hands and if you have a pair of scissors, you can do it, and I'm going to show you how. Alrighty, so what I did was I cut 2 lengths of yarn. One of them I have threaded on a yarn needle already, and the other one I'm going to put to the side. And I'm going to put this one to the side. Now, this yarn that I have here is attached to my working ball. Now, you don't need any particular gadgets or templates. You can use your hand. Yes, we were given 2 of them, and we can use them. So I wouldn't suggest going around your fingertips because that can change the length. I would suggest go around the meaty palm of your hand here and just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping for as long as you want so that your tassel can have a nice amount of what I call foofiness. Yes, that is an actual term. Foofy. And so you just keep wrapping and wrapping until you think that your tassel is going to have enough foof, foof. And so when you think you have enough, you can cut your yarn. All right, then with your threaded bit of yarn through the yarn needle, what you're going to do then is you're going to go underneath all of your wraps and pull the yarn through. Quite simple. You see? So it went all the way through all of those loops. And then what we're going to do is slide our hand off like so. Now, there are a couple of different methods that you can use. What you could do is quite simply to tie it here, okay? Or you could tie it at the ends here. Now, what I'm talking about as far as the differences is that if you want to have 2 tail ends, 2 tail ends at the end, you can do that, and then you can stitch them into whatever work. Or if you want a loop, there's another method. So what I'm going to do first, actually, is I'm going to create a knot at the base. Actually, no, I'm not going to create a knot at the base. I'm going to create a knot up here. I know it sounds like I'm being a little convoluted, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a knot up here, okay, because I want this one to have a loop. So what I'm going to do is quite simply take both ends and knot them together like so, just like that, okay, and then, I know this almost sounds like hearsay, but I'm going to actually snip that right there. Then what I'm going to do is okay, got all my loops down here. All right, and then I'm going to adjust my knot so that it is underneath all of those loops. All right, like so. And then we're going to do a knot close to here. All right. But before we do that, we're going to secure the rest of this, and I will explain. Basically, what you want to do is you want to lay down your other strand, okay, and lay that down. Now this is rather difficult, so I'm going to adjust my camera. I am sorry. So we have our green strands there, and we have all of our loops there. Okay. And quite simply, all you have to do is just make sure that those are all nice and tight. You see? Like that. And you can adjust this before you do any knotting, which is always a good thing to do. So it does require a little bit of fiddling and finessing, but you can do it. All right, so I've got my two green ends here. And you want to pull, and then you want to turn them over. Let me show you that a little bit better. So we pulled, and then we're going to pull them again. Even though they're on the back, we're pulling them. And then we're going to knot them again, like so. Pull. And then turn it over again. Sorry for all this crazy yarn action going on here. And this time we're going to do the actual knot. So pull, and then do the actual knot, like so. Okay, now we can now deal with this little red knot deal here. Okay, maneuver it so that it is underneath all of your loops. Then what you're going to do is give it a little bit of a twist so that it is close to the top there. And then do your knotting. And you want the knot to be as close to the top there as possible. It's not really an exact science, but see, got your knot there. Okay. Then, as far as all these loops down here are concerned, we're going to snip them. Now, if you can get in amongst all of your loops in one fell swoop, all the better. It's not always easy to do, though. Sort of like when you're making pom-poms. Couple more. Okay. And I think I got a couple more loops, but that's okay. All right. And then we're almost done. So we've got our craziness going on here. And see, we've got this end here and this end here, these long ends. Now what you can do, and this was my original end from when I was wrapping. I can just snip that one off. Now what you can do is you can quite simply just cut these. However, what I like to do actually is I like to work them through underneath the loop that you made. So I threaded one of them and I'm working it underneath like so, underneath that banding that we did. And just pull that so it goes through the center, and then do the other one. Really simple. I know this yarn is a little crazy to follow, but I already made a hat to go with it, so. All right, and the tassel is in essence done. Now what you can do is to clean up your tassel, just gather it all together and give it a haircut so it's a little less crazy, like it's having a bit of a bad hair day. You can clean this up, and technically you can make these as long as you want, as short as you want, as full or as sparse as you want. It's totally up to you. You can use whatever yarn, whether it is a variegated or what have you. And if you don't have a variegated yarn, you can use all different kinds of yarn together in conjunction with each other. And with that all being said, we have a lovely little tassel. Indeed. And I have a bit of a foofing to do. And this can then be attached to one of your projects, or without doing the loop method that I did here, you could have two ends sticking out and you could tie it to something. Also, this is a great way of topping a bookmark as well. However, I would suggest using something like embroidery floss if you're doing something like a bookmark. Use something a bit finer than yarn, I would say. But I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Also, I would suggest if you're going to do your trimming, do it over garbage, a garbage can or over a tissue that you can throw away, because this is a messy process, just like making pom-poms. So, anywho, enough of my rambling for now. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, because you know that I love doing this oh so very much. I hope that you found it helpful. And listen, if you liked the video, please hit like. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, what have you, do so in the comments section down below. I really love hearing from you. And I try to post videos as often as I can, so please hit the subscribe button so that you too can stay tuned in. And so listen, until next time, I want you guys to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.